Hey everybody, welcome back to Down in the Dale. I'm Shelly. This is my Mounjaro Odyssey, as I like to call it. I wasn't around here last week, if you were wondering, if you noticed. Last week I had a nasty summer cold, so I decided to take a week off and try and rest up and heal. I still have a bit of congestion and a lovely runny nose that was never going to go away. I'm definitely on the mend, so that's good. Sometimes when we're on a weight loss journey, we expect everything to be under perfect conditions, perfect meals, perfect exercise, perfect energy, but that's not what happens. People get sick, things happen, and the best you can do is just take some time off to rest and recuperate. So this week, I thought we'd talk about that, catch up on the weight loss journey, discuss an interesting article that I read this week, and then I'll tell you a short story about life in California and expectations. Today, when I'm recording this, it's Sunday, June 7th, 2026. I started this journey in August of 2025 at 287 pounds. I started out on 2.5 milligrams of Mounjaro. I don't remember exactly how many weeks I did that. I went up to 5, and I was on 5 for quite some time also. And I've been on 7.5 now since, well, this will be my sixth shot, so for 6 weeks. This morning, I got on the scale and I weighed in at 245.3 pounds, which means I have lost 41.7 pounds so far. Hooray. Let's see how many weeks I've been on this now. I will look and tell you. Oh my gosh. Oh, I should know this already. It's week 42. So it's my week 42 recap. So 42 weeks. Mm. So I looked at my calendar. I was on 2.5 milligrams for 8 weeks. I was on 5 milligrams for 28 weeks. And now this is my sixth week of, well, my fifth week. I'm taking my sixth shot of 7.5. I'm feeling good on 7.5, just have my usual constipation, nothing else really. Today, this morning, my mom and I went down to Angola, Indiana for breakfast, which is not that far from here. The best thing was gas here is 369 or 372, something like that. And gas in Angola was 323. Well, actually, that was in Fremont, Indiana, outside of Angola, between here and there. Um, in Angola, it was 325. Ooh, 2 whole cents. But I mean, Jackson, Michigan, which is like a half hour from here, it's $4 still. So it's crazy. Ohio and Indiana always seem to be a little lower than us. And since we're right on the border, I could go to either and find cheaper gas. But of course, you're driving there. But like I said, mom and I had breakfast. We went to one of my favorite places down there called Mama's Place, which is a really good little breakfast place. We had a nice time. Came home, took care of my mom's trash for her because her trash gets picked up on Mondays. Took it out to the road. And as I wheeled the trash can away from the garage, I stepped on something and I'm like, what was that? And I looked down and it was a dead mouse. I'm very proud of myself. I got a shovel out of the garage and picked that horrible little poor sad dead mouse up and threw it in the trash. So that's the trash man's problem now. But he's dead, so he's not going to do anything. Ooh. All I can think of is little Gus Gus from Cinderella. Very sad because he had really big ears, so I don't know. It was a weird looking mouse. Maybe it was just a baby rat. I don't know. Those are around there too. Mm. Anyway, let's get back into it. The scale isn't moving as quickly as it did in the beginning, but that's perfectly fine. Obviously, I'm in it for the long game. And I have learned that every week is not about big numbers, it's about consistency and following through, which is what I try to do. I did make it to the gym last week one day, and I'm going to go, well, I'm planning on going tomorrow morning. Which brings me to this week's article that I found in EatingWell. The article asked dietitians this simple question: if someone wants to reduce visceral fat, what's the best vegetable for them to get more of in their diet? The answer was surprisingly simple. I'll just say something that some of you may know, some of you won't know. I am what I am. Spinach. Now, before anybody rushes out and buys 10 bags of spinach, be it from your local grocery store or your local organic farmer at the farmer's market every Saturday morning, that's not what the article is saying. There isn't one magical food that melts belly fat, otherwise, we'd probably all be eating it. But spinach does have several things going for it. First, it's packed with fiber. And if you've watched this channel for any length of time, I've talked about fiber more than once. It always shows up in research. Fiber helps keep you fuller longer, and studies have linked higher fiber intake to lower levels of visceral fat. And spinach is also rich in compounds called something that I cannot say. I will put it here. To me, it looks like carotenoids, but that's not it. It's probably carotenoids. Who knows? Those are the plant nutrients that help reduce inflammation and improve metabolic health. And that's important because visceral fat isn't just the fat you can see, it's the fat stored deep inside you around organs like your liver and intestines. That's the type of fat that's associated with things like heart disease, diabetes, and other health problems. What I liked most about the article was it didn't try to sell a miracle. In fact, the message was pretty much the same that I keep hearing from my doctor, what I keep reading in research articles, and so on. Eat more vegetables, eat more fiber, drink more water, get some movement, get enough sleep. So it's not flashy, it's not exciting, but it keeps showing up because it works. And honestly, that's the one thing this journey has taught me. Most of the time, success comes from doing the boring things consistently. Not perfectly, just consistently. Maybe this week I'll be adding a little more spinach to my grocery cart. I do love spinach. It's really good. I really like it, like steaming it with some fish and eating that with the fish, putting it in salads, throwing it in omelets. What do you like to put spinach in? I don't know if you can hear somebody around here shooting a gun, but I keep hearing it. So this week, my California story is going to be about my first trip to Disneyland in Anaheim, California. I don't remember what year it was, but it was one of the first few years that I was living in California. My parents came out around Thanksgiving time. And I got the bright idea that, hey, let's go to Disneyland on Thanksgiving because everybody will be home with their family having Thanksgiving dinner. No, it was so crowded that day. It was crazy. But we had a good time. But I grew up going to Cedar Point, which is in Sandusky, Ohio, and they have like a billion roller coasters. Probably not that many, but when I was a kid, I think they had like 12 roller coasters. And I mean, great roller coasters. They had a wooden roller coaster called the Gemini. They had the corkscrew, which went upside down. They had this one called the Blue Streak that my sister and I, when we would go on it, it was just an old metal roller coaster. But one time when we went on it, I don't know if they didn't strap us in well. I don't know. But the bar kept flying up on my poor sister and me. And so I kept holding it down when we would go around those things that gave you airtime. That roller coaster was so much fun. They got rid of it. But they have a million other new roller coasters. I can't go on the roller coasters that much anymore anyway because my head just goes back and forth, especially the ones that have you like, well, they're not really strapped in up here, but oh my gosh, they're just crazy. I love Millennium Force. Look up Millennium Force. That one is so much fun. I haven't been to Cedar Point. I haven't been to Cedar Point since I've been home again, but I went maybe like 5 years before that with my family. I took my sister. I think my mom went with us. I know she did. My mom went with us, my sister, my niece, and some of my sister's grandkids. We had a lot of fun. I don't know how many of you have been to Disney World in Florida. We never went there when I was a kid because, like I said, we went to Cedar Point every year, and Florida was way far away. But living in Michigan, a lot of people went to Florida for spring break. We never did. So I have been to Disney World as an adult, and I will tell you right now how you always remember Disney where Disney World is and where Disneyland is, because Disneyland, LA, Los Angeles. It's in Anaheim though. But that's how I always remembered it. Disney World's in Florida with all the other parks, and Disneyland is in LA. There you go. This is so stupid, but it's like my trick when I was a kid to remember how many days had 31 days or how many months had 31 days. Because if you take your, this is stupid, if you take your knuckles and you start on your first knuckle, January, and you go between February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Every month that lands on the knuckle has 31 days. That's why July is here and then August is over here. And they both have 31 days. But all the others that land in between the knuckles don't. Isn't that mind blowing? Sure. Okay, that's not why you're here. Anyway, so Disneyland in California is so small. I was not impressed with it when we first went. I mean, they only have like two roller coasters. They have uh, Space Mountain, which is inside, so you don't see it. You don't see anything. I have been in there when the ride stopped and the lights had to come on. That's really cool. There's YouTube videos, Google them, watch. It's fun. And then there's that, oh my gosh, something mountain. Why can't I remember it? Somebody will tell me what it is. Thunder Mountain. There you go. I thought of it all by myself. That one's fun too. But all the other rides are like family friendly little kid rides. Peter Pan, okay, maybe that's not so much, it's kind of scary. The teacups, okay, maybe that's not so much, you want to puke. The Casey Junior Railroad, that one's fun as a kid. I mean, I didn't go on it as a kid, I went on it as an adult. So, anyway, my first trip to Disneyland with my parents was kind of like, eh, and I did not go there for a long time again. But then I became a Disney adult and I had an annual pass. And I would go with some friends sometimes. I would go by myself. I would drive there, it was about half hour, 45 minutes away. I would drive there, get something to eat, shop, maybe go on one ride. Sometimes I didn't even do that. Sometimes I would just sit and people watch and leave after a couple of hours, which was awesome. That's why having the pass was great because you could go anytime. You could go any day. Now you have to make reservations. I mean, they still have the pass thing, but it's like a key now. I don't know. It's weird. Anywho, that's my Disney story for this week. And that wraps up week 42. I had a loss this week, which was great. Doesn't always happen. It's fine if it doesn't. I'm feeling better, but I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I still have some gunk like there. Uh, leave me a comment. Have you been to Disney World or Disneyland? Did you go to Cedar Point? Cedar Point is awesome. Everyone should go there once in their lifetime. It's so much fun. It's right on Lake Erie. It's so pretty. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Hopefully, I'll cut that out. Maybe I'll just leave it in. Um, yeah. So that's all. Like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Again, like I said, have you been in Disney World? Have you been to Disneyland? Do you like spinach? Did you know what I was talking about when I said, I am what I am about the spinach? If so, write that down. Or just leave me a little green emoji. That'll be fun. Not the pukey one, though. Everybody have a great week. I will see you soon. Bye bye.